you. No need to run away, you little runaway, 'cause the nightmare will get you soon.
No need to contemplate how deeply that you're afraid, 'cause your life is a waning moon.
It's a matter of time, a matter of time.
Every story you tell, we're in pursuit.
It's all in your mind, it's all in your mind. Look behind you.
Hey, what was that? Boo.
You can run, but are you fast enough? You can hide, but I will find you.
Close your eyes if you don't doze off. Hold your breath so I don't hear you.
The trail of tears that you will leave me straight to those that fear me.
You can run if I don't catch you, but the nightmare time is gonna get you. Take every precaution, babe. Get out the caution tape, 'cause the timer is ticking down.
Do you even understand?
The danger that you are in.
You're standing on shaky ground. It's a victimless crime, a victimless crime. I'm in your head and you know it. Nothing you can do about it. It's all I design, all I design right behind you.
Hey, where'd it go?
You can run, but are you fast enough?
You can hide, but I will find you.
Close your eyes if you don't doze off. Hold your breath so I don't hear you.
The trail of tears that you will leave me.
Will lead me straight to those that fear me.
You can run if I don't catch you, but the nightmare time is gonna get you. Just run away if you want, if you dare. The nightmare's gonna get you. Just run away if you want, if you dare. The nightmare's gonna get you.
Just run away if you want.
Daddy's gonna get you. You can run if I don't catch you, but the nightmare time already caught you.
Tree bark under my nails. I can't get away from you. It's all dark. I'm climbing a tree. Which side will the woods choose? In the Witchwood, all alone, just you and me. Don't let me die out here. All the snow is red, someone is dead, but it's not me. You said I wouldn't die out here. Come on, look out, you're alone in the woods. There's no one to look out for you now. Come on, sleep well, he is not in the woods. There's no one to look out for now.
Episode 2, Part 1, Tree Bark. 6:30 a.m. A small cottage sits on the edge of Hatchetfield and the surrounding Witchwood's forest. In that house is a small, dark bedroom where Becky Barnes moves in silence, grabbing her clothes and hairbrush. Illuminated through the window, she sees her calendar and the date circled on it. The date is May 8th, 2013, her 10th anniversary with her husband, Stanley Dale. She quickly finishes getting dressed in the small ensuite bathroom, wearing a turtleneck underneath her turquoise nursing scrubs before heading downstairs to the kitchen to make breakfast. Moments later, Stanley comes downstairs, still in his pajamas, and he wraps his arms around her waist, planting a kiss on her neck.
Morning, babe.
Morning, Stan. Sleep well?
Not bad. It would have been a whole lot better if you stopped stealing all the damn blankets.
Sorry, I can't help it. I always get cold at night.
You always were a frigid bitch.
Becky remains silent after his comment and continues making breakfast. When it's done, she serves his plate before carrying her own to the table. Stanley watches her intently for a few minutes, getting increasingly frustrated by her quietness.
Aren't you gonna say anything?
Say what?
Wow, I didn't want to believe that you were that stupid to forget what day it was, but apparently you are. Well done, Rebecca.
You remembered it was our anniversary?
Of course I did. How could I forget I spent 10 years stuck with you?
Happy anniversary to you, too.
Stanley glares at her and grabs her wrist.
You want to try that again?
I just want to say happy anniversary. That's what you wanted me to say, right?
You knew damn well what you were saying. Drop the damn attitude. Got it?
Yeah.
His expression darkens more before he finally releases her.
You're working today?
Yeah, I couldn't get it off. Sorry.
No, you aren't. If you were, you would have called in sick or some bullshit. Being an actually decent wife.
I won't be home late. We can still have a nice evening.
Knowing you, you'll find some way to ruin it.
Sorry.
See, you always say that, but then you never fucking change, do you?
Becky remains silent, staring at her plate.
Fucking thought so. Do the damn dishes.
She does so, taking his empty and her half-eaten plate to the kitchen.
I'll try to be home as soon as I can. Want me to pick up something nice for dinner?
Don't bother. No use wasting our money on shit when you don't care about our marriage.
Stanley, of course I care.
No, you don't. Just go to work. And grab some beer on the way home.
Without another word, Becky grabs her bag and walks out the door, heading to work. In the break room of St. Damian's Hospital, Becky's colleagues are laughing at each other. One of them, a short brunette, Alice Cruller, is looking at her phone.
Nobble my ass. That's not true.
It's literally on the website. Adelaide, a female given name derived from a Germanic meaning nobility. Told ya. Can't argue with Wikipedia.
Alice, it's dictionary.com, first of all, but sorry, Lee, she's right.
Shush you.
You'll love me for it.
Do I?
Yep, you married me.
Tony Hayes grins at his wife, Leah, and kisses her while Alice laughs at them. Becky walks over to them, intrigued.
What's going on?
We're Googling the etymologies of all our names because Tony's a lovesick nerd and wanted to do it for Leah.
That's not fully true.
Babe, you're a cardiac surgeon who was almost an English teacher. You spent 90% of your life in a classroom and the other 10 pining over me. You're a nerd.
Good thing you're also a nerd, little miss. Staying up until 3 a.m. to read Harry Potter in my arms.
It was one time!
They all laugh and smile at each other, enjoying their break from the chaos of hospital life.
Oh, Becky, we should do you. Anything to stop Tony from writing another poem.
Hey, I write excellent poems, thank you.
No, mine'll just be silly.
That's the point! Alice, give me your phone.
I can do it myself. Give me a minute.
Alice begins typing Becky's name into her phone and scrolls through the results.
Here we go. Rebecca, derived from Hebrew, meaning captivating and strong. Oh, both true.
Not sure about that.
You are. Weren't you a cheerleader in high school?
I was. But that was a million years ago. I'm far from either of those things now.
Don't say that. Oh, come on. Let's do your last name.
Just do my maiden name. Doubt much will show up for Barnes Dale.
True. Okay. Oh, Barnes. We got 2 responses. One boring, one cool.
Boring first, get it over with.
It literally means someone who lives in a barn.
They all laugh.
Look, my house may be a mess, but it is not a barn.
I told you it was boring. Okay, the cool one says it's from Old English and it's got some Norse roots and it means warrior.
I don't know where you found that, but I am not a warrior.
Well, I've already said you can't argue with the internet, so you have no choice but to accept that you are a captivating warrior.
I second that.
If not a warrior, then defender of all things good and light.
What's all this about? You're being nicer than usual. You're planning something, aren't you?
Not at all. Just figured you could use some positivity.
Why did you think that?
No reason. Just figured you could use a boost, I guess. Besides, I saw the ER's filling up like crazy, so God knows we'll need something to keep us going.
We should get to work then. Get ahead of the curve.
You're gonna overheat in that turtleneck thing with all the running around. I swear they'll keep the furnace on until July.
Becky tugs on her sleeves awkwardly, feeling more self-conscious by the second.
I'll be fine. Thanks.
Well, I get to brag because I'm spending the day in the OR and it's air conditioned. Only downside is that I've got a 6-hour surgery, give or take. I love work.
I'll try and rescue you later.
She kisses his cheek.
I don't know. I'd live here if I could. 6-hour surgeries and all.
Come on, you're not serious. Never seeing anyone but us? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like my job, but living here...
Becky shrugs it off and pulls on the sleeves of her turtleneck again. All the jokes about hating work or being desperate to get home have never really landed with her.
I really should go. I've got patients.
Becky exits, leaving the others in the break room.
I shouldn't have said that.
Hey, you didn't do anything, but something seemed off.
She always seems off. That's the problem.
We don't know what our personal life is like. We shouldn't jump to conclusions.
We all saw her face when she came in. She looked miserable. Well, more so than usual. And don't act like you haven't heard the rumors.
I don't know what to think of it all. I've never met him. And there could be a billion other things that could have happened.
Exactly. We don't know what to think if we don't know anything.
I still don't trust it.
Me either. But what can we do?
They all share a look before exiting, going their separate ways to treat their respective patients. In a small, bright room in the paediatrics ward, a small girl of about 7 sits on a bed in a dirty grey t-shirt with a sling on her arm. Her parents are nowhere to be seen, and she's watching a spider spin a web on the wall when Becky enters.
Hi, I'm Nurse Becky. I'm going to be looking after you today. Where are your parents, hon?
I don't know.
I'm sure they'll be back soon. In the meantime, mind if I take a look at that arm? It looks sore.
If you have to.
Becky walks to the girl and starts examining it, trying to be gentle to avoid putting her in more pain.
I think it's broken, but I'm going to need to take you for an x-ray to make sure.
What's an x-ray?
It's this really big machine that helps doctors and nurses like me figure out if there's something going on that we can't see at the surface. Really good for finding broken bones.
Is it gonna hurt?
Not at all. You won't feel a thing.
She smiles comfortingly at the girl, attempting to make her feel more at ease.
The best part is that you get to ride in this really fun wheelchair on the way up. How does that sound?
I guess it could be kind of fun.
I promise it is. I'm gonna go get it. I'll be right back.
She heads outside the room looking for her parents again, but gives up and simply grabs the wheelchair before getting back to the room.
What's your name, sweetheart?
Lex Foster.
Mind telling me how you hurt your arm?
I fell out of a tree. Mama was yelling, so I went up there. Webby said the branches were fine, but one of them broke.
Becky notes what Lex said about her mother in the chart, getting increasingly worried about her.
And who's Webby?
My friend. She helps make the monsters less scary.
Becky elects not to acknowledge that comment, trying to get to the bottom of the thing with her parents.
Who brought you here, love?
Duke. He helps Mama.
I'm glad to hear you've got someone looking out for you. But you could have gotten lost. The Witchwoods aren't safe.
They are for me. Webby's friends with the tree people. She said they'd keep me away from the monsters. They can hide you too.
The tree people?
Uh-huh. If they like you, they keep you safe from the monsters.
I bet they do. I'm gonna go get you a cast and look for your mom, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Becky heads to get the materials to look after Lex. When she returns, the room is empty.
I had a patient here.
Her mother took her home, said they couldn't afford it.
But I didn't clear her or get the mother to sign an AMA form.
She signed it here. Nothing I could do.
Of course.
She sighs and returns the cast materials to their respective places in the supply closet. After their shifts finally end, Leah, Tony, Alice, and Becky gather in the break room for their usual after-work chats.
From the sounds of things, her mother's been neglecting her. She was in the Witchwoods all alone, and she had quite the imagination.
Yeah, most kids do, especially if their parents aren't around much.
I just felt so awful. I could have found treatment options or helped them pay myself.
Becky, you can't help everyone.
I can still try. That's my job, yours too. I've got to go, I promise. I don't want to stay out too late.
Why? Got any plans?
Not really.
Lucky.
Tony, ordering takeout and watching TV doesn't mean we have plans.
But it means I have to stay awake.
I swear, you're the laziest man ever. You don't even want to spend time with your own wife?
1,000 apologies, my dearest darling.
Tony kisses Leah's cheek, fake groveling, which incites groans from Alice and a small smile from Becky.
Have a good night, guys.
She waves them off and grabs her bag, walking back home before remembering that Stanley wanted beer. Before Becky can even get to the doors of the store, Linda Monroe, the gossipy, self-proclaimed Queen of Hatchetfield, bumps into her.
Watch where you're going, you disgusting little... Becky Barnes! Why am I not surprised?
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to get in your way.
Sure. You're even more pathetic than I remember.
Becky keeps her head down, trying her best to get into the store without speaking to Linda again.
Christ in heaven, you look more revolting too. I see you don't know how to dress now that you don't have your precious cheer uniform to hide in every day. Turtlenecks don't belong in May. Friendly advice.
She flashes an incredibly cold and fake smile at her, continuing to block her path.
Move, please.
I suggest you mind who you're talking to, Becky. But I must say I'm impressed. I didn't know you could still talk back.
I said please. I was being polite. Now please, get out of my way.
Really, that desperate for a drink? There's a wonderful group that meets on Tuesdays to help people struggling with problems like yours. I suggest you look into it.
I'm not a drunk, Linda.
Then why the rush?
I need to get home and I'm tired of wasting my time with you.
Surely you won't be in trouble for being late. Why, that would be simply awful if there was something that made you so worried about not being there. Perhaps a certain someone?
The colour drains from Becky's face as Linda's grin widens, knowing she got to her.
Letting him walk all over you like that? It's disgusting how weak you are. I don't even know how you can bear to show your face in public.
Without another word, Becky turns and starts running in the opposite direction back to her house, the liquor forgotten, just desperate to get away from Linda. When she unlocks the door to her house, something is different. The rank smell of alcohol that's normally in the air has dissipated. The house is cleaner than she left it, with paintings straightened and pillows on the couch fluffed. What's more shocking is Stanley. He greets her, smiling and in a different outfit than normal. Nicer than normal.
Hey, babe. How was your day?
It was fine, thanks. Yours?
I've been busy. Do you like it?
He gestures at the clean house.
You did all of this?
Of course I did. It's our damn anniversary, isn't it?
It looks amazing, Stan.
She can't help but smile and wraps her arms around him, embracing him.
Why don't you go get changed, huh? Something pretty.
She nods and walks to the bedroom, changing into a dress and cardigan before rejoining him in the living room where he's lit candles.
Much better.
Thank you for all of this. It's wonderful.
You're welcome. Wanna grab me a beer?
Her face falls immediately and she goes to check the fridge, frowning more when she sees it empty.
We're out.
Didn't you buy some this morning?
I forgot. I'm sorry, I was just so busy.
His once cheery expression darkens and he slowly walks to the kitchen.
You didn't acknowledge our anniversary this morning, and I forgave you. I cleaned the entire house when that's your job without a single word of thanks. I asked you to do one fucking thing today, and you forgot.
I didn't mean to.
But of course you didn't, Rebecca, because it's never your fault, because I always have to be the fucking bad guy!
Didn't say that!
Don't you fucking dare talk back to me! After all of this, you have the audacity to act like it's my fault?
It was just an accident.
He raises his hand to strike her, but before he can, Becky bolts for the door and runs into the woods. She's never done that before, but something she can't explain drives her to escape. She sprints as fast as she can to the tree line, Stanley following close behind her.
Get the fuck back here, Rebecca!
He chases after her, but once she makes it to the tree line, she vanishes from view. Although Stanley keeps pursuing for ages, she's simply gone from sight. All that can be seen is tree after tree.
You can't hide here forever!
After a solid hour of searching, he gives up and heads back to the house, fuming. Meanwhile, Becky stays curled up in a tree, barely daring to breathe. She could hear him clear as day and could nearly feel him get close to her, but for some reason she was invisible to him, as if the trees were protecting her from him.
Guess the kid was right.
Rain falls from the sky and Becky tries to make herself comfortable for a long night ahead. The next day, rumours have already started flying about what happened.
I heard she completely lost her mind.
Well, guess she's never coming back.
You never know. Stranger things have happened.
Nope. If you get lost in the Witchwoods, you're never coming back. What a shame.
Stanley walks down the street, hearing the entire conversation. He always despised gossip, specifically about him or his wife, but he also knows how to put on an act. He runs his hands through his hair and puts on his most distraught-looking face.
My wife, have you heard anything from her? Has she tried to call anyone?
Nothing. Sorry about her.
She's not a bad person, she's just lost it. I don't know how to help her.
It can't be easy being with her.
It isn't. At all. And I don't know what to do anymore.
Stanley sighs and walks away, leaving the townspeople to gossip amongst themselves some more. Hours pass and night falls once again in Hatchetfield. In the Witchwoods, Becky remains curled up in the tree, dehydrated, starving, freezing, soaked to the skin from the rain the previous day. Although the trees offered her some protection, it wasn't enough, and her thin cardigan didn't offer much warmth. After being alone for so long in these conditions, the nurse in her reviewed the chances of making it out of the woods alive, and they weren't good. So, with nothing and no one else to turn to, she decided to take Lex's word about the tree people to at least get in some last words.
I remember the first trip I ever took with Stanley here. He wanted to go camping with his friends, made me tag along. I kept telling him that people get lost here and it wasn't safe, but he said we'd be fine. I made him promise me I wouldn't die in here, and he did. Now here I am.
She stays silent for a while, not having the energy to cry.
I shouldn't have run. I know I've been stupid and I'm probably gonna die out here. Please, God, don't let me die out here. Please give me another chance.
She curls up smaller, trying to conserve as much warmth and energy as possible, but her exhaustion gets the best of her and she falls unconscious before literally falling out of the tree. She breaks her arm on impact, but she doesn't even have the willpower to scream. Through the tree line, she can see the edge of her house. Bewildered that she was so close to home, she forces herself to stand and begins limping back.
Thank you.
She manages to make it to the front door before losing consciousness once more. Hours later, Stanley opens the door and drags her inside. Hatchetfield, 2017, The Witchwoods. Becky Barnes sprints through the forest as fast as she possibly can, far away from any trails or pathways, only tree after tree, and they aren't protecting her this time.
You can't run forever, Rebecca!
Catching up to her faster than she'd like, Stanley Dale follows close behind, a kitchen knife in hand and pure hatred in his eyes. He lunges for her and she trips over a root, falling to the ground. He pins her down and hovers over the top of her, struggling to get the knife down to her throat.
I tried so hard to be nice, to be good to you. All you had to do was fucking listen to me!
Please, Stanley, don't do this!
You chose Tom Houston over me. I gave you two choices and this was what you picked. You brought this on yourself, Rebecca.
He forces the knife down on her again, but through some miracle she manages to dodge it, and the knife ends up in her hand. In an instant life or death decision, she plunges the knife into his thigh. He doesn't even process what happened until his screams echo through the woods and blood pours out of his leg onto the snow and her.
What the fuck did you do?
Becky simply lies there, dumbfounded.
Help me, for God's sake, help me!
Becky ordinarily would have helped. She would have begged for forgiveness and patched him up. But this time, be it from adrenaline, shock, terror, or God knows what, she runs, as fast as she can away from him. His blood still dripping from her clothes and screams still echoing in her ears. She opens the door to their house, to her house, and looks at herself in the mirror of the front hall, and for the first time in years, she smiles a genuine smile.
You promised me I wouldn't die in the woods.
In the weeks that followed, rumours flew about the whereabouts of her husband, the most popular one being that he left her for a younger or more attractive woman in Clivesdale, and she never denied it. They say the Witchwood can be as big or small as it needs to be, that you can get lost in it quicker than blinking, but it chooses a side, and the spirits carry out their duty to protect the woods and those with the gift from the monsters and men that seek to destroy them. Episode 2, Part 2, Family Reunion. Lakeside Elementary School. Dollar store balloons hang from the walls of a classroom. A messily cut cake, reading "Happy Birthday, Tim," sits on a table. In the center of the room, Tim Houston stands, smiling wide as the class sings happy birthday to him.
Don't forget to make a wish!
I know.
Tim pauses for a moment and makes a wish, blowing out the candles while everyone cheers and celebrates. River Monroe, a close friend of Tim, pulls him off to the side.
What's up?
I got a gift for you, but you can't open it yet.
Why can't I open it now?
Everyone's gonna get jealous. It's a limited edition thing that no one else has, and I don't want them fighting over it.
Thanks, River. You know you didn't have to do this,
Of course I did. Grandpa insisted I give this one to you anyways.
Well, tell him thanks too then. I never thought he was the gift-giving type.
My brothers and I get money whenever we want. He gives pretty good gifts.
Right. Well, thanks again. You're a really good friend.
Same to you. Maybe you can come over later? We could have a party.
I wish I could, but my dad and Becky invited my Aunt Emma over, and apparently they want to have some kind of birthday dinner with me.
Your family eats together?
Yeah, every night. I keep forgetting about your parents. I'm really sorry.
River looks down and fidgets with his shirt. Since living with his grandfather, Roman Murray, for the past few months, he's changed a lot, and it's been drilled into him that showing emotion isn't acceptable.
It's fine. Please excuse me.
He walks away to silently grieve in the corner, leaving Tim alone to eat his cake in silence until it's time to leave. Back at the Houston house, Tom Houston and Becky Barnes, his girlfriend of 6 months, decorate the house in balloons, banners, and streamers.
You need to help with all this, Bex.
Of course I did. It's Tim's birthday. I wasn't going to let you do all this stuff alone.
I'm sure he'll like it.
He notices her struggling to tape a balloon to a high part of the wall and stands behind her to help, wrapping one arm around her.
My hero.
Glad to be of service.
He grins and pulls her in for a kiss, which she gladly returns. Before things get too heated, Tim walks through the door.
I'm home.
Stay quiet. We'll surprise him.
Tim walks through the doorway, confused as to why no one responded.
Dad? Becky?
He turns around the corner and sees the banner with Happy Birthday Tim written on it and balloons and streamers hanging everywhere.
Happy birthday, Tim!
They both smile and embrace him.
You guys didn't have to do this.
Of course we did. It's your birthday. Most special day of the year.
Still,
your dad is absolutely right. Today is all about you.
She smiles and kisses the top of his head.
Thank you. Seriously, this is awesome.
No problem, buddy.
Can I go play video games now?
Wait, you have any homework?
Tom, it's his birthday. I think he can have a homework pass for one night.
All right. You're lucky, mister.
He ruffles Tim's hair, earning a quiet groan as he runs upstairs, yelling behind him,
Thanks, Becky!
Think he liked it?
You're letting him game on a weeknight. I'd say you're his favorite person right now, babe.
I just hope it wasn't too childish.
Tom takes her hands and smiles at her.
Loved it. And we're all gonna have a great time tonight.
We are. Oh God, the dinner. I need to start that. I should change.
Whoa, slow down, Bex. It's just Emma and Paul. Nothing special. We're gonna order a pizza and call it a day.
We both know how Emma feels about me.
Yeah, well, Emma doesn't like anyone, so she can get over herself.
Don't say that. She's still your sister-in-law. And she's Tim's aunt. Nothing is ever going to change that. And I don't want it to.
Tonight is about Tim and all of us getting to know each other more. If I have to deal with Paul, she has to deal with you.
Becky rolls her eyes teasingly.
Glad to know I'm such a hardship. It must be agonizing living with me.
Absolutely unbearable.
They both burst out laughing and he kisses her, gently brushing some hair out of her face.
They're gonna love you, just like I do.
I love you too. But I should at least make some appetizers because God knows I'll never hear the end of it if I don't finish it.
Her face falls ever so slightly and he squeezes her hands.
Hey, you don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. They can keep their mouths shut, and I'll help.
You mean it?
Of course I do. First one down chooses the music.
You're on.
They laugh and race down the stairs, trying to get to the kitchen first, and eventually settle on a classic rock station they both loved in high school. Meanwhile, Emma Perkins, Tom's sarcastic and mildly scary sister-in-law, waits in line at a liquor store with her fiancé, Paul Matthews.
I don't even know why I'm doing this. I shouldn't even bother with them.
Tim's birthday. Of course you should be there.
They've got their perfect family now. They'll call me for Thanksgiving and when they need a babysitter. That's all. God, Jane's been gone a year and he's already taken her back.
I don't know. They seemed really excited about having us over, and I think they're just as nervous to see you.
I'm not fucking nervous, Paul. I'm pissed off. They just want me to be there for Tim and play nice for perfect cheer captain Becky Barnes.
Paul can't help but snort at Emma's impression.
Either way, it's gonna be fun. You spent hours choosing those comics for him, so at the very least you can brag about choosing the best gift. And, you're his aunt. That's never gonna change. And you're always gonna be closer to him because of that, if you're worried. Becky's just Tom's girlfriend, nothing more. It's gonna be okay, okay?
Okay, I trust you. But if she fucks things up, I'm blaming you.
How is that my fault?
Because you're the one who told me to stay positive.
Yeah, duly noted.
They pay for the bottle of wine and get back in the car to drive to Tom's house.
I just want today to be fun for Tim. Really, I do. That kid's had a shitty enough time and he doesn't need her. He doesn't need anyone ruining his birthday. I've missed enough shit with him and I don't want to do it again. I don't want to lose him again. Jane would hate it, wouldn't she?
Of course she would. No one is going to ruin anything, I promise. Today is going to be fun.
He smiles at her comfortingly and she half smiles back as she pulls into the driveway.
Okay, here's goes nothing.
She walks up to the front door, wine in hand, and rings the doorbell, expecting Tom to answer. However, Becky opens the door, wearing an apron over her clothes.
Emma, Paul, I'm so glad you came.
She goes in to hug them, but Emma brushes it off, responding harshly.
Of course we came. You invited us, and I wasn't going to miss my nephew's birthday.
Of course. Please, come on in.
Emma, glad to see you. Paul.
Tom, nice to see you again.
Oh, you brought wine. That's nice.
She takes the bottle from Emma, clearly a bit awkward.
Yeah, thought we should.
Thanks for the thought, but Becky doesn't drink.
It's just one night. It's fine.
Emma scoffs and snatches the bottle back from Becky.
Of course you don't. Were you planning on telling me before I blew $15?
Emma, it's just wine. It's not a big deal.
I didn't realize you were planning on bringing anything.
Well, I guess some people are just considerate and think of bringing things to dinner parties.
I don't talk to her like that.
Tom, it's fine. Thanks for the wine, Emma. I'll go put it in the kitchen.
Emma harshly shoves the bottle back at her and heads into the living room, Paul following behind her while Tom joins Becky in the kitchen.
It's really just wine, Em.
Not the fucking point, Paul. She thought I was gonna be a bitch and not bring anything. So fine, I'll be a bitch.
I don't think you're a bitch.
Wow, that makes me feel so much better.
She rolls her eyes and Paul sighs, sitting awkwardly on the couch. In the kitchen, Becky arranges a plate of appetizers to bring through.
I don't talk to you like that. Jane's been gone for a year and a half. She can't expect me to stay alone forever.
She was her sister. I don't blame her for being upset. I just don't want anything to ruin the day for Tim.
He's got his game and more gifts than he needs. He's fine.
Let's just have a good night and try to have some fun. We can all make this work.
She smiles a little and kisses his cheek before carrying the plate of appetizers through to the living room.
Thanks.
Emma merely stares at the plate, sipping some water.
Why don't we call Tim down for presents?
Yeah, good idea.
Tom heads to the stairs to call up to Tim, but Emma stops him.
I'll go get him. Don't waste your time screaming at him.
Got a point. I swear that kid won't even take his headphones off to sleep.
I did the same thing when I was his age.
She shrugs and heads up the stairs, knocking on the door of Tim's bedroom.
Hey, Tim.
Hi, Emma.
Want to start opening presents? We've got everything set up downstairs.
Yeah, should I bring this down too?
He shows Emma the wrapped parcel he got from River.
Yeah, why not? Who gave it to you?
River, a friend of mine in class.
Oh, that's nice. Have you been friends for long?
Yeah, we've got a lot of classes together.
They walk down the stairs and head into the living room.
I guess your dad's gonna be teaching you real soon.
Yep, and you better not get any ideas about cruising through. I want to see some hard work.
Tim turns red as Tom ruffles his hair.
Dad, I'm too old for this.
Which gifts you want to open first?
My vote's for Emma's.
Oh, it's not your birthday.
I don't mind.
Tim heads over to the small pile of gifts in the living room and picks up the messily wrapped gift from Emma. In the card is a $20 bill that he eagerly shoves into his pocket.
Thanks.
Open the actual gift.
Tim tears open the wrapping paper, revealing a limited edition set of comics.
Oh my gosh, these are cool!
I knew you'd like them.
He runs over to her and hugs her tight.
I love it!
Told you.
Becky smiles at Tim and pulls out a neatly wrapped gift with a bow on it.
This is from your dad and I. We picked it out together.
She smiles at Tom and hands Tim the gift, who quickly opens it and beams, showing off his new Nintendo Switch to everyone.
I've wanted one of these for so long. Thank you.
He hugs Becky tight, earning a glare from Emma before he turns to Tom.
Happy birthday, bud.
What's that gift, hun?
Oh, it's from my friend River. He told me not to open it in front of the class.
Why don't you do it now then?
Don't forget to read the card.
You're not his mom. He knows this shit, and you don't get to tell him that.
Becky looks down awkwardly and Tom sighs while Tim reads the card aloud.
Happy birthday, Tim. Thanks for being a great friend. I hope you like the gift.
Tim unwraps the parcel, revealing a bright pink doll with shiny yellow teeth and massive lips for a face.
Nibley is unique among his brothers, and is always ravenous for a good time. May he bring you times filled to the brim with fun, and feed your hunger for joy.
Signed, Roman Murray and River Monroe.
Monroe?
Yeah, I'm friends with River.
What, got a problem with a literal kid now?
I don't think she meant that.
Not at all. I'm gonna go get a drink.
She exits and heads to the kitchen while Tom glares at Emma.
That's a cool doll, kiddo. Make sure you thank River on Monday.
I will. Can I go set up my Switch?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm good with tech stuff if you want some help.
Sure.
Paul follows Tim upstairs. The two never got along particularly well, but Paul is trying to make an effort.
Don't back off with Becky. I'm gonna be some kind of pissed off.
Don't get me fucking started on her. This is meant to be a family thing. She has no right to be here.
And Paul does?
He's gonna be Tim's uncle in a few months. So yeah, he does.
And Becky is my girlfriend, and frankly, she's the closest thing that kid has to a mom.
She isn't fucking Jane, and she will never be.
You think I don't know that? I loved Jane, Emma. Really, I did. But she's gone. And I'm not going to spend my life alone when I love someone else.
But you never stopped loving her. You know, Jane called me a few times, telling me how she was always scared that you were just going to go right back to her. All those fights you two had, they were because of you. Because she couldn't trust you to get over a stupid high school crush.
Throughout the argument, the nibbly doll that Tim left on a chair has gradually grown, unnoticed by both Tom and Emma.
We fought because we loved each other, but we didn't agree on things. Becky had nothing to do with it. Now drop the damn subject or get out of my house.
He storms away to the kitchen to support Becky, leaving Emma to fume. Meanwhile, Paul attempts to make heads or tails of the Nintendo instructions with Tim.
Okay, I think this cable connects here.
How do you know this stuff?
Oh, I used to have a Nintendo thing, Game Boy, which is ancient, but I was pretty into video games too.
Ooh, what kind of games?
I was really damn good at Mario Kart. Wait, shoot, I shouldn't say that around you.
It's cool. Kids say worse at school anyway.
Right, of course. Okay, you're all set.
Thanks. Are you happy with Aunt Emma?
I am. I'm really happy. That's why I'm gonna marry her.
I think my dad is that happy with Becky.
Oh. How do you feel about that?
I think I like it. She's nice, and I like her, and she likes hanging out with me, and I want my dad to be happy too, right? After Mom died, he was really upset, and for a while, and I don't want that to happen again.
Then I think he'll be really happy to hear that you mean a lot to him and to Emma. You've got a great family, Tim.
Yeah,
guess so.
I guess so.
After a few minutes of awkward silence, they get drawn back into reality by Becky calling them down for dinner. At the door, the Pizza Pete's delivery kid holds the pizza, waiting to be paid.
That'll be $39.80.
I've got it.
Don't be silly, I'll pay.
No, it's my treat.
Tom and Becky continue the flirty banter until Emma loses her patience.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Paul, give me your wallet.
Paul sighs and does so. Usually Emma isn't this demanding, but he understands her defensiveness of Jane.
Have a good night, folks.
He exits and Tom takes the pizza to the dining room, making up plates for everyone.
Yeah, have you thanked Emma and Paul for coming over?
Dad, I was gonna do it.
Hey, you don't have to thank us. I'm glad I got to be here for your birthday.
So, what was your favorite gift?
I really like the switch.
Emma stares for a moment at Tim, then at the smiling Becky and Tom.
I'm so glad, sweetheart.
Thanks, Mom. Becky.
The room goes completely silent as everyone stares at Tim and Becky, Emma being the first to speak.
She is not your mom.
Emma, don't start this.
No, I'm sick of it. I looked at your photos. Everything with Jane is gone. You've been pretending that she never even existed. Your own son just called this bitch his mom because of you. Because none of you care. She meant nothing to you.
Stop it! This is about Tim, not you, Emma.
Don't you fucking start with me.
Tim, why don't I go show you how to play the Switch?
Paul hurries Tim out of the room so he won't have to hear the rest of the argument, the Nibbly doll slowly growing bigger, still unbeknownst to everyone.
Emma, stop this right now.
You guys think that life can be just like high school. Every time I walked through the halls, even as a freshman, I heard everyone squeal when you walked by. Everyone going on like, oh my God, it's Becky Barnes, when you're nothing more than an entitled bitch who doesn't know how to move on. You're a cheating asshole who doesn't give half a fuck about the mother of his own child.
I said enough.
Fine. I'll go. Tell Tim happy birthday for me.
Becky, please don't.
Becky doesn't respond and simply walks out the door. Tom follows her out onto the porch.
Becky.
I knew this would happen. I knew it.
You shouldn't have said that.
She's Tim's aunt. I'm nothing in his life. I shouldn't even be anything in yours.
Don't you dare. I love you, Becky Barnes. Nothing is going to change that.
I'll see you around, Tom.
She exits, leaving Tom alone on the steps. A few minutes later, Paul joins him.
Hey, I want to apologize for everything.
You're the least of my problems right now.
Still, it was my idea to bring the wine, and that kind of started all of it.
Not your fault. I should have said something about her. To be honest, neither of us drink.
Oh?
After Jane died, I have got some not great habits. I don't want Tim to remember any of that, and I don't want to risk it happening again.
I don't blame you. What about Becky?
We won't talk about it, but it probably brings some kind of shit back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're working it out.
You're good together. Whatever Emma says, and you're a great dad. When I was talking to Tim earlier, he was telling me how much he wanted you to be happy.
Good kid.
Before Tom can say another word, Becky comes back, standing awkwardly.
I left my coat behind.
She heads back inside, met by more screams from Emma, but soon the screams get louder from both.
Probably go break them up.
Yeah, guess so.
Paul and Tom go back inside and are left frozen as they stare at the massive Nibbly doll that's taken residence in the living room. The more anger there was in his presence, the bigger and more powerful he got. He sits, jaws open, leaving the others paralyzed with fear.
What the fuck is that?
Get behind me!
Tom and Paul run to shield their respective girlfriends, but it's too late.
He's always ravenous for a good time.
Nimbly lunges for them all and begins eating every single one alive, his hunger for chaos and human flesh never sated. Screams echo through the room as blood sprays, Nibbly growing larger with each body he devours. Tim runs down the stairs, hearing the noise as he watches them all be consumed by Nibbly.
Dad, no!
Tim bolts back up the stairs to get away, but it's too late. Nibbly grabs him and holds him, blood and flesh still visible in his jaws before he puts Tim in his mouth, the permanent smile etched on his face as he grins at the massacre he left behind. The once white walls turn red, the banners torn and balloons popped as dark energy floods the room, hungry for more death and destruction, the smile on Nibbly's face unceasing, cold and ravenous.